Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. And this isn't going to be a chapter review. I want to point that out straight away. It is instead going to be me going through the chapter. I've already read it, so this isn't going to be a surprise thing. But I will be going through the chapter and kind of pointing out a lot of the things people are going to misinterpret or just complain about and kind of explain them and explain why this happened, how it makes sense and all that. I'm doing this a day after the chapter's been released. I don't know when it's going to upload, maybe a day or two after now, but I've already seen some certain things on Twitter about the chapter and things that don't make sense. And with how a lot of people on Boruto, I feel like they just fail to understand how the series is going or how a lot of things in the Naruto verse works, which I'm no expert on. But from my interpretations, there's a lot of things that I say that are widely agreed upon to be correct, and some people will just like take them so wrong in just ways that are objectively false and things that are just proven against. So I'll be going through this chapter and just kind of pointing out a few things. I don't know how long this is going to be, but let's get into it. So first, straight away, we get the whole healing with the Ninetails. Now, this shouldn't come as a surprise. This comes in twice during this chapter, talking about her regenerative and healing ability. And since we do know that Kurama and her are apart and like they share the same body, her connection and correlation with Kurama is just stronger than anyone else's has been, just from the way he revived in her and all that stuff, and genetics and genes, all of that. We know that she has a better connection with Kurama. And this it's actually a cool thing to note. I don't know if anyone else has noticed. Her hair separates in 9 separate parts that, represent the 9 tails of the fox. So here you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We see the 9 there, and then there's another one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 there. It comes up in any panel. I thought this one was the coolest. How you could see the 9 when she forms the Biju bomb, kind of like how Naruto was doing it with the Chakra arms when he was making like Rasengans and shit. But I think that's just a cool thing to note. But we know her connection with Kurama is stronger than Naruto's with just because the genetics and how he resurrected within her, right? So her just being able to heal Inojin by just, for one, feeding chakra into him. You could see the chakra right here, and by grabbing him with that, you could think of it like Naruto when he was given the Ninetails cloak to everyone in the war and how everyone was getting healed. That's kind of the same thing here, just to a greater extent. Like I said, her affinity and connection with Kurama is just stronger. That's why that makes sense. It's not bad writing that she healed him. You could complain that she healed him and just say you didn't want him to be healed. That's fine. Like, it's very well demonstrated that the healing is great. Even here, leg broken, now she's just standing on it. That's why that works. It's basically like Naruto's Ninetails cloak just passing on to someone else to heal it. It's been shown before. It's not some new crazy concept. That's that. As a side note, this thing, if I have this power, I want to carry out the responsibility that comes with it. I feel like that's something Dad and Big Bro would do. Fire dialogue right here, by the way, because both her dad, Naruto, and Boruto are using their genetic advantage to help, just carrying the responsibility of their genetic advantage to go and help people. So that is pretty cool. She thinks like that. It's very nice. For this whole situation with her hitting Jura, straight away, I don't know why I need to say this, because this is something that was talked about a lot during spoilers and even a bit now that the chapter is released. This does not scale her to above anyone. Like, this isn't putting her well above the likes of Naruto, for example. We basically know Jura is just curious about Hima. He wanted knowledge, he wanted to know things. That's why he went looking for Naruto, which led to Himo because of the Ninetails chakra, right? We know he's not going all out because of a statement made later. See, I've decided to release just a little bit. You've made me want to test my true power. We know he's holding back. This isn't obviously him at full power. He is standing here watching her walk towards him and he let her punch him. This does not scale her and say, oh, she was able to blitz him because he didn't move out the way. No. All right, we can put that to rest. That's just not a thing. And I'd also like to note, no damage was done to Jura. She didn't damage him at all. Her punch with him broke the ground. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Did no damage to him. Sent him flying, but physically did not harm the dude. Then we get her forming the Biju bomb. It's a huge thing people hate, but I'm not sure why it's hated. Like, sorry, I shouldn't say I'm not sure why. I know why people are saying it's hated, which is why is she able to make a Biju bomb or a tailed beast bomb when Naruto struggled and he had to train to do it. It's simple. Kurama wasn't working with Naruto. He was working against him, and that's why. This Kurama has not only a better connection with Hima, but is working with her. That is why. The whole reason Naruto couldn't was because Kurama wasn't helping him and was working against him. Now they have a better friendship, a better connection, and they're working together. Yes, she's gonna be able to form a tailed beast bomb, and it's not like she's doing it solely herself. Like, for example, forming her Sengon with one hand. She's using once again the 9 hair strands, which are basically like the Ninetails, or the extension of the chakra arms that Naruto was able to do in KCM, to help him form all of his Rasengans and everything. That's basically what's being used to form it. I want to clear that up. The extension of the Ninetails chakra is what's being used, like the KCM arms from Naruto. The Biju bomb or the tailed beast bomb, it makes sense. It's not an ass pull. It's perfect. There's no flaws with this whole sequence going on. This is also just to display the skill like gap and disparity between the two. They are talking. Look, he's floating. He lands down in front of her, right? There's noticeable space. Go from talking, a spark notice thing. He instantly goes and fucking headbutts her, or whatever this attack was. It looks like a headbutt. He does that. She is completely basically blitzed from this. She cannot move away from that. Gets sent back. Then she's going flying back here. He is behind her. This is like this exact same thing was basically in Naruto, bro. It is crazy. But he just goes and just pummels her. Like, the skill gap between them is so huge. There is no way anyone's saying that anyone in the current Boruto, other than maybe Boruto himself, is scaling to Jura. There's no one in current Boruto other than, oh, I guess Damon. Okay, so Damon and Boruto are the only people that could compete with Jura right now. I would like to put that out there. I'm not saying Damon's weaker than him. I'm not saying Boruto's stronger. That's all I'm saying is those two are the only people that can contest this guy right now. Yeah, like I said, the statement comes back of him saying, this is a first. I've decided just to release a little bit. You maybe want to test my true power, after just beating the brakes out of Hima. Now for Sarada, this whole thing is one of the reasons I wanted to make this video, is the Sarada Hidari thing. And this is the biggest thing that I've seen with people invalidating Sarada's whole feat of dodging the Chidori. Now I might go on a tangent here with it. This is what matters. Chidori, is that what that attack is called? I wondered why it was so hard to control, but it seems that your eyes are needed to master it. Now, let me say this. Yes, the Sharingan is needed to master the Chidori. The Sharingan doesn't make it go faster. The Sharingan is needed to counteract the tunnel vision from moving so fast with the Chidori. That's why the Sharingan is needed. So, him not having the Sharingan doesn't make his Chidori slower than someone else's. It's just he can't react as fast and focus on everything in his peripheral vision while using it. That could be why Sarada was able to counterattack and actually hit him. If she had the Sharingan, she probably wouldn't have been able to hit him. That's what this is saying. This statement, I wondered why it was so hard to control, that does not mean he was moving slower. That just means he had the tunnel vision and couldn't react to Sarada reacting to him, basically. That's what that means. This in no way invalidates Sarada's reaction time feat. Sarada being able to tag him, okay, now that makes sense. It made sense before, yeah, but that is the, I don't want to say defeater, but that could be part of the reason she was able to tag him, because he couldn't react because of the Chidori speed. I'll say this one more time. This statement does not make Sarada's reaction time feat of dodging the Chidori any worse. The feat still upholds. It's still the same thing. This does not change that. Also, to add on to that point, her getting stunned here so far off guard, and she doesn't have eyes on the back of her heel. She can't see this. There's really nothing too crazy about that. He put his hand in his pocket, it looks like, but it's just going through a claw mark and stuns her. That's what that is. This isn't like an anti-feat or anything for Sarada, and it doesn't add anything of, oh, why couldn't she dodge that but dodge the Chidori? So far off guard and unaware of this because she just can't see it. It makes sense. He dodges Konohamaru. No one is surprised, by the way. He uses the Chidori again after saying how hard it was to master it. I would like to point out, Konohamaru here did not react to the Chidori. He reacted to Hidari's person. Before anyone says that, oh, Konohamaru reacts to Chidori, so it's the same feat as Sarada. It's not. What he reacted to was him teleporting away, basically, and popping up there. That's what the reaction was to. Because see, he goes, boom, goes to hit him. he teleports up there. That's what that reaction was to that. He also used his new wind style Rasen barricade, which is it's a cool little wind release. Jutsu that he does block Hidari's Chidori with, which it's a worse feat than what Sarada showed because of this thing where he was already aware that the teleportation happened. He did obviously have to react to the Chidori though, but he couldn't dodge it and move out of the way like Sarada. So this does just put Sarada faster than Konohamaru. He had to use a jutsu to block it instead of just dodging and countering it. And he still lost that altercation in general. The Chidori hit through the wind thing and basically, I don't want to say knocked him out, but look at that state he's in. Definitely not a good state. Another thing to point out here with the Jura and Himawari fight, this thing for Jura here where he grazed her, I wouldn't call this a miss purposely, because he wants the information from her, for one. And for two, he wants to test out the healing ability. We've seen her heal herself with a broken leg instantly, basically, and reheal Inojin from death. Basically, it was basically death. Like, he was gonna be gone soon, let's be honest. This isn't him failing to hit Hima because Hima was moving too fast or anything like that. You can see he even notes the healing power and says it's actually far beyond human origin Cherokee level, almost something of what we Biju possess. Him saying it's like what Biju possess, it's just more examples of her and the Ninetails being one body instead of a host and Cherokee type relationship. It just adds more credence to that notion that they're of the same being basically at this point. And there's no there's no Ninetails Jinchuriki anymore. It's Hima and the Ninetails are one, which this was also explained in like the previous chapters. It also adds into the higher affinity and potential stuff, which Kurama does note here. He's a bigger monster than I expected. Definitely not someone you could do something about solely with high potential. Once again, basically stating the statement from earlier, the like last chapter or so, saying that Hima is not above Naruto or not stronger than Naruto. He's just solely talking about the connection and potential and affinity with each other's chakra and how well it meshes together. And the final page of the chapter, which people were complaining about, which is they wanted a soul fight of Sarada versus Hidari, which I myself wanted. But I didn't hate the team up of Boruto and Sarada to take on the Shinju. A lot of people wanted one-on-one fights between them. I myself wanted that, but I don't hate the idea of Boruto and Sarada taking on Jura or taking on Hidari. I don't mind that. It's not bad writing, and the characters don't need that development of a one-on-one fight. They could still have development and they could still have feats, as well as just showing their overall strength if they fight as a tag team duo. That's fine. Like, we don't need a Sarada versus Hidari with solo fight. We don't need that. That's gonna be it for the chapter. I don't think there's anything I missed in terms of what people are gonna complain about or what people will misinterpret. I think I covered almost everything. There was quite a lot in this chapter, but it would be different if it was like a full fight chapter. I can go over like the actual exact feats. It had a good widespread of things here. So that is going to be it for this type of video. We'll see how it turns out. We'll see if I make more of them next month or in the future chapters. If you made it this far in the video, I would just like to point out I have been sick, if you can't tell by my voice. So that's why the videos have been lacking. I do have the hot takes video that I made. That one is currently being edited. It will be out probably like a week after this one. Once I'm done editing it, I don't want to say I'm halfway done editing it, but I have a bit of it done, and I have like 2 more of the debunk videos because that one actually did a lot better than I thought. Thankfully, it didn't get too much hate. It got mainly positive reception, and Loco never replied. So I take that as a W. Because he could definitely cook my ass with a bunch of my videos I made, because I have some quite interesting takes, I'll say that. So he could definitely pick apart a video. But thank you guys for watching.